not serious relationship. It's gonna be just dating and anything, and I never thinking I will be moved to here. I think this is just nothing serious.
You know what's so crazy? When people say the reason why I decided to cheat was because I didn't think our relationship was serious. What does that actually mean? I'm just curious. What does that actually mean? Because if you know that you've now told someone that you're now seeing them, right? And you have a future and you plan having a future with them, because obviously for them, the conversation would have been like, she's in Russia, he's in America. They would have had a conversation about the fact that they plan a future of being together at some point, obviously, I guess, in America, right? So in that position, why would you then think it's okay to actually cheat and then to say, oh, but I wasn't too sure? What? And also, if you're not too sure, then aren't you supposed to communicate that with the person you're with? It's crazy how people live on completely different pages sometimes. Yeah, baffling.
Session, how did you do it differently?
I'm never gonna meet and never do this again. Like if I'm never gonna tell him, it's hurt me more and more and more.
But this
You know, she says, if I'm never going to tell him this is going to hurt me more and more and more. How many years ago did this happen? Do you know what I mean? So you're telling me he's been hurting you for all this time and it's taking you this long to tell him. If it was really hurting you more and more and more, you would have told him a long time ago to clear your conscience a long time ago. Yeah, for me personally, that's just BS.
moment was not about how it hurt you, though.
But if I'm not told this, it's hurt me inside.
We were definitely dating and we were already filing J1 visa.
Let that sink in. He says that we were definitely dating and we had already started the K1 visa. So she knew that the K1 visa process had begun.
We were doing the K1 visa? We already filed the K1 visa. So, I mean, that to me, we were committed at that point.
He's not lying though, you know, the moment that you start filing papers and stuff, you know, that so you can be together, but you are definitely in a commitment at that point. There is no excuses. So the fact that she's worded it in the way, do you know what is the thing that actually annoyed me was the fact that Brandon didn't even address it here at this moment in time. He should have addressed it then and there. Okay, but hey, I guess next week we'll get to see Brandon and Julia have that one-on-one conversation with the hypnotherapist, whatever, or hypnotherapist. I forgot what she was called. Yeah. And then let's just see, obviously, how that conversation pans out. But as of right now, this woman is hilarious. The fact that she said last week, "Oh, I didn't cheat, but we kissed," is crazy work. And to make it worse, it was of an ex. To be fair, it doesn't really matter whether it was of an ex or a new person. Infidelity is infidelity regardless. But nonetheless, though, we move on to the next one.
I basically saw on his phone that he's been texting women the whole time during this resort.
He's not trying to be with me.
You're down to be adventurous? Let's explore.
Well, I guess Rob never really learns. Now, the thing is that we didn't get too much context regarding this, so I can't say too much about it. But for people that just didn't get to watch the show, obviously this clip is mainly for you guys so you can see what we're going to build up to next week. Now, based on the previews of next week, Rob pretty much says, no, this isn't true, blah, 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 blah. And then Ari gets involved saying that this is triggering, but this is how Benny is. So there's a whole lot of things to uncover within the next episode in particular. But the question that I have for Sophie is, why was she going for Rob's phone though? No one should be in a relationship if you feel the need, the urge, the hunger, the thirst to want to go for your partner's phone. If that's how much you don't trust them, or that's how insecure you are, you shouldn't be with the person that brings that out of you. You see what I'm saying? Because yeah, that's just that. But we'll move on to the next one.
Would I cheat to her? Tracy, apologize, sorry. And I love you.
I love you too.
I feel as if Florian had something else he could have said. Because okay, there was sometimes it's worth bringing back up something that you've apologized in the past if it's still relevant to a certain tension in your relationship. But if it's not relevant to any tension in your relationship, then it doesn't need to be brought up. So I do feel like he chose the easy way. He just brought something up that she already knew about, rather than bringing up something that she didn't know about, or maybe something that is still currently fresh in their minds, that is currently hurting their relationship. Because this chapter here is a chapter they've clearly got over, and it's a chapter that they've moved on from, that doesn't hurt their relationship currently anymore. So for me, I think Florin was looking for the easy way out, so he just picked that. And then she was like, okay, I forgive you. And this is the problem with Stacey. She's willing to just accept anything and everything that this man will give to her if it's a sign of positivity, if it's a sign of moving forward. But the problem is that, and a lot of the times, the smallest things do matter to helping your relationship go forward. But then sometimes the smallest of things are actually the reason why your relationship isn't going forward. Because that means certain people are sticking on that certain thing as the hope or as the holy grail. This little conversation between these two, yeah. Florin definitely has other things he could have easily said that definitely would have helped their relationship go forward. This right here, pointless. Just saying. He took the easy way out. But we move on.
Really think of anything that I couldn't justify the actions that had happened.
So you've never done anything to hurt Natalie,
I mean, I don't.
either intentionally or unintentionally, even if it's
The only time that she's really been upset recently is this whole Sophie in Vegas.
You know, a part of me was like, damn, Josh is really going down that angle. But then I really thought about it, and I was like, to be fair, most things that go wrong with these two is due to Natalie overreacting and not really willing to listen. But then at the same time, though, Josh does purposely lead her on to keep her around, and he knows he's doing that. But how do you say, hey, I want to apologize for leading you on and not living up to, I don't know. But then again, though, Josh doesn't actually ever say anything that is, how can I say? The only way I feel like he leads her on is just by being with her. But I don't feel like he actually gives her any promises, because there's never been a point where he said to her, okay, I'll give you kids. Okay, I'll give you this. He said the same thing for the past couple of years, and everything that he's always said is literally, I want to see if we can progress from this stage. And it's been on repeat. Hence why they're broken up 3 times already. You see what I'm saying? So maybe he's onto something. Maybe he is.
Do something different there. I mean, no.
I mean, listen, this whole situation with Sophie, it's interesting to say that he wouldn't do anything differently, but to be fair, what he says next kind of makes sense.
My only fault was I didn't invite her, but I honestly, at the time, I don't know if we were on the level where I would want to, go.
He didn't know if he was on a level where he would want to go with Natalie, where he would even want to bring her. To be fair, that's understandable. If that's how you felt at the time, then that's how you felt at the time. But let's just remember, though, this is a common theme in their relationship. A common theme is Josh always not knowing where they are in their relationship. And the comic theme is always Natalie not knowing where the hell they are in their relationship. And therefore it results to, okay, we're going to stay stagnant in one spot. And that spot is trying to figure out if we can work in an actual relationship. What they both need to be sorry for is wasting each other's time and just going about their business. Or they can just be honest that they're just there for the intimacy. But that's exactly what Josh is there for.
He's not feeling like he hurt me ever. It's a little bit self-involved.
Major issue. I'm not.
I loved it when she said a little bit self-involved. I was like, well, it looks like you met your match.
I had a major thing where I've been like, oh, I need to call Natalie, and I'm really sorry for that.
Do you think that it has to do with the fact that you don't see this woman as your partner?
So Josh, do you love Natalie?
And that is true.
See, what I hear is you're saying you care for Natalie, but you love Natalie.
To be fair, though, Jasmine hit the nail on the head. You've never seen her as your partner, which is why you probably don't see anything that needs to be fixed. That is a very strong point. And then obviously, Stacey comes in and asks him, but do you love Natalie? And he says, I care for her. And then obviously Stacey bounces back, as you heard right there. These women are really grilling him very, very well.
Why?
Because we don't need to. We can let them open up for themselves.
Open up. We love you.
Yeah,
See you
good
tomorrow.
night.
Bye. Good night.
So Jasmine makes a whole hoo-ha about, end of the day, there's no point of us opening up around you two if you two are never going to be open, or are never going to be open about your situation. So Josh is like, okay, in that case, we're going to get up and go. He was wise for that. He was like, let me just remove us from the situation, so therefore it doesn't get anything. So therefore people can't continue to keep asking me questions. He knows how to control his environment. Very, very intelligent move, but also a very dangerous move as well. And when I say dangerous, what I mean is there are some people who use that type of move in a good way. And then there's some people that use that move in a way to protect themselves, which is a dangerous way. He was looking to protect himself. Because after that, they both went to the tent, and what happened? They were cuddling. Yeah. Anyway, we move on to the next one.
Are you open to sharing it with us?
I'd rather not.
The first thought that comes to my mind is did you cheat on me?
I felt bad,
you know, and sometimes Jasmine and I will fight, and I said, we'll just go back to Panama.
It's crazy. Jasmine was, you know, is trying to have this whole argument with Josh about not being open, but yet she's dealing with a guy who's not been open either. But the fact that that's what, out of everything that he could have picked, that's what he picked to say. That is weak. If he really wanted to get away with it, if he really wanted to get away without saying what he really wanted to say, he could have just been like, I'm sorry for sending nudes to my ex of you. That would be more believable. But anyway.
I'm sorry for that. I didn't mean it.
The palm of my hand, and I know it is not what he wanted to say initially. By not sharing what it really was,
I do strongly believe as if they're trying to hold out on, you know, what's going to happen next to these 2-4. But I was under the influence that this week we was going to find out, because that's what they previewed last week, that we're going to find out this week. But instead, nope, we're going to find out next week, potentially. They're really doing what they can to really string this out as long as they can. I mean, listen, the easy assumption is that it's going to come out that he has been cheating. That's the easy assumption because, well, what else could we think about? What else could it be that's on his mind that he doesn't want to tell Jasmine right now? We know that he wants kids. Yeah, it's not. That could be the only thing. But this week, though, to be fair, one of the things that I really did find quite disappointing with the episode was that there was a lot of things brought up, but there was a lack of answers, and it really gave us not much to go on. But they just want us to wait again. Wow. This is when you know that a TV show that once upon a time was all about reality has now turned into just pure entertainment. You know, just prolonging episodes, prolonging tales, just to keep people on edge. I'm sorry, but these cliffhangers aren't really it. Not gonna lie to you. Why? Because we're not really invested in the people that you show us on this show. So that any cliffhanger you give us, we'll just be like, yeah, it's probably gonna be cheating anyway. What else could it be? He's cheating on Jasmine. Natalie and Josh, yeah, we know what that's about. Sophie and Ra, yeah, we know what. You know what I mean? Yeah, whoever's a part of this team of trying to plan out how they do their TV settings and whatnot, it's not very good. Because I don't feel that eager to find out. I'm more than happy to wait till next week. But yeah, it can only be cheating, but I guess we have to wait and find out. But anyway, move on to the next and I believe last couple.
After 5 years ago, before when I met Ari, I met another girl. Then I didn't stop, was sending message. And because of she find out, and then I'm thinking I don't want to hurt the other one girl, but same thing. Just I hurt both of them. Like about.
When man was talking about didn't want to hurt the other woman, as well as this woman, I was like, huh? But anyway, things then started to get juicy.
5 years ago, like me and you when you
who are you?
did.
You were in a relationship with that girl when you were with your ex-wife? Because we met 3 months after you broke up with your ex-wife. You're saying something really big.
Just accept the sorry. Just who cares?
Who cares?
The moment that he said just accept that I'm sorry, I was like, uh-oh, man's been caught red-handed. Pow!
Like something
sorry,
we stop. You know, I'm sorry.
Well, the problem is that he's actually lying. He's lying about the dates. He's lying about the whole thing. And so
I'm curious, has Benny showed any truths at any point in this whole season? Because everything that he has said, Ari said, no, he's lying. Lying. And to be fair, I'm inclined to believe her over him. Because, boy, the guy, he's not a good liar. You can tell he's just talking a whole bunch of gibberish.
I want to say apologize, okay?
Vinny hated women. No, that's not true. There was no other woman in the beginning of the relationship. He was talking to another woman, and more than just talking, when I was very, very pregnant with our son. And
that is nasty work. So basically, she's trying to say that either he cheated on his ex, or he's trying to apologize for something that's recent, but he's trying to make it sound as if it happened like way, way back. Because he wants to cover himself. I don't know what told Beniam that telling the story that the way he told it was going to be a smart idea, knowing that he knows that Ari's going to be onto him. Just be truthful, bro. Like, the crazy thing about it is, even though he clearly doesn't want to be with her, even if he told her the flat out truth, she's not going to leave you. If she was, she would have left by now. And even if she did leave you, happy days for you, but you don't want to be with her anyway.
directly saying he's sorry for the actual infidelity that occurred much later.
Because now she's detective and she wants specific like something like all CIA or something. That's why she want to do.
I'm not gonna lie to you, but if you are gonna tell somebody that you stepped out on them, they're gonna want details. Not everybody's gonna want details. Some people are like, you know what, I'm done, I'm out, boom. Some people want to know the specifics because they need to know that the timeline makes sense. So therefore, she's not in the wrong for asking for the timeline. Just that.
By this day, and a date.
I know that a lot of these moments have been challenging to bring up. Just starting that process of apologizing and owning up for things is a good start.
You know, at first I was like, I get it. I understand what the therapist is saying. It's saying at the end of the day, you know, it's important for Beniam to get to the point where he's comfortable enough to want to tell you the truth. So if you give him this, maybe he's gonna build up to telling you more truths properly as time goes on. But he's clearly afraid to tell the truth or uncomfortable to tell the truth. So I thought about it. I said, you know what? It's a fair point. But then I thought about the flip side of it. The flip side is that Beniam could walk away from this thinking, oh yes, I got away with another lie. I was able to tell her this information and now everything's over and she can be off my back. So it really depends on how this would, you know, obviously affect him moving forward. You know, would this put him in a position where he's going to walk away thinking, yes, I got away with it? Or in a position where he's going to be like, you know what, I feel like I can trust to come to her for more things now. Because before I couldn't, because I was afraid because of X, Y, Z. It's really one of those things that can work out any way. Hopefully we get that. Hopefully they have a conversation next week with the therapist, you know, in one-on-one and see obviously how that goes. So we can dive a little bit more into it. To be fair with you, their relationship is obviously dead anyway. I'm just curious to see what can be uncovered by a therapist, if they're real therapists, clearly, right? If they would have conversations with these two on a one-to-one basis so we can really find out what has been going through Beniam's head. Ari's head, we already know. Beniam's head, I think I know, but you never know, you know? And I think, to be honest with you, even though some of the relationships is just completely just lost by now, for our learning purposes, the learning channel, for our learning purposes, it'd be good to see them still have those interactions with the therapist so we can see if we can learn anything from what's being said. Things that maybe we haven't thought about, you see what I'm saying? Or to prove some of the things that we thought about. I mean, is that too much to ask for, TLC, to give us something that actually, you know, represents the name of your channel, the learning channel? Nonetheless, though, let me know your thoughts down below and we'll talk about it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, peace.